Today, we're looking at some of the most extreme historical heat events, starting with what may be the single most severe climate event in 500 years of European recorded history, 1540. This wasn't just a hot summer. It was an 11-month mega drought. From February through the end of the year, temperatures across Central and Western Europe ran at levels that climate scientists describe as extraordinary even by modern standards. Contemporary accounts, more than 200 of them, from diaries, city records, and church documents, describe persistent heat and dryness from spring through autumn and beyond. The rivers collapsed. The Rhine, the Seine, the Loire, the Danube, all of them critically low. In some places on the Rhine, people crossed on foot through water that was normally deep and unpassable. In July, people in Switzerland pulled large quantities of fish out of drying streams by hand. The smaller rivers didn't run low, they dried up completely. Crops failed. Cattle died of thirst and heat stroke. Forest fires burned for months across Germany and could not be extinguished for lack of water. An epidemic of intestinal disease, likely dysentery from contaminated water, spread across the continent. Temperature reconstructions placed the summer of 1540 with a 20% probability of exceeding the 2003 European heat wave in some regions. Maximum temperatures in July likely reached above 40 degrees Celsius in parts of Central Europe. The annual temperature anomaly was estimated at 2.4 degrees Celsius above the 1961 to 1990 baseline, the highest such anomaly recorded between 1500 and 1999. And 1540 was not an isolated event. It was the peak of an entire decade. The 1530s may have been the driest decade in 500 years of European records. The summers of 1534 and 1535 were described as nearly as bad. Crop failures, plague, swarms of caterpillars devouring harvests across the continent. And going back further, there was 1473, a 3-year sequence of hot, dry summers from 1471 to 1473 stands out even within the broader Little Ice Age record. The summer of 1473 was the most severe European drought event before 1540, the benchmark that 1540 ultimately surpassed. All of this inside what we call the Little Ice Age. That matters, because the Little Ice Age was not simply cold, it was unstable. The variance was extreme. Cold winters and record summers in the same decade, wet springs and months without rain in the same year. The atmosphere was not sitting quietly in a cold equilibrium. It was oscillating, and those oscillations produced real extremes at both ends.
Moving into the 1600s, the summer of 1616 brought another severe drought across Central and Eastern Europe. Czech documentary records describe the spring and summer of 1616 as marked by great heat and dried-up rivers. A hunger stone on the Elbe River was marked that year, those low water markers recording not just drought, but the threat of famine that followed. And then 1666 in England. We have early instrumental data for this one from the Central England Temperature Record, one of the oldest continuous climate data sets in existence, beginning in 1659. The summer of 1666 ranks among the warmest in that entire record, with an estimated anomaly of around +2 degrees Celsius relative to the historical baseline. A +2 degree seasonal anomaly doesn't just mean slightly warmer days. It shifts the entire distribution. The hottest individual days in such a season push significantly beyond the mean. And London in the summer of 1666 was a city built almost entirely of wood, packed tightly together, with no water supply infrastructure. On September the 2nd, 1666, a fire started in a bakery on Pudding Lane. By September the 5th, it had consumed more than 13,000 homes, 87 churches, and the medieval core of the city. The heat and dryness of that summer primed everything. Into the 1700s, the summers of 1718 and 1719 across France and broader Europe were catastrophic. An epidemic of dysentery following the extreme heat and drought of 1719 alone killed an estimated 450,000 people in France, roughly 2% of the French population at the time. Across the 2 years combined, the death toll from heat, drought, crop failure, contaminated water, and disease has been estimated in the range of 700,000. Other notable years in the record: 1724, 1757, 1808, 1826, a significant warm and dry summer in England standing out clearly in the early instrumental data, and 1846. The point that runs through all of these is about what averages do and don't tell you. When we say 1540 had an annual anomaly of 2.4 degrees, or that 1666 ran 2 degrees above baseline for the summer, those are seasonal means. They smooth the data. They compress the distribution. The hottest individual days, the peak heat events, the multi-day runs that dried the rivers and killed the livestock and primed London for fire, those are embedded inside the average, not visible from it. The averages tell you the direction. The extremes tell you what people actually lived through. These events, 1473 through 1535, 1540, 1616, 1666, 1718 through 1719, 1724, 1757, 1808, and 1846, all pre-industrial, all inside or adjacent to a cooler climate era, all real. That is the atmosphere doing what it has always done. High variance, long tails, extremes that don't wait for modern conditions to appear.